Spider-Man Into the Spiderverse is a pretty well-rounded movie with the foundation for greatness, and in my opinion it succeeds in most areas, but the areas that fail are in need of discussion. People seem to love this movie. Trust me, I get why. It has all the components to make a great movie. It's just more missed opportunities. It lacks focus in some areas, but those places that do have focus are great. I've watched this movie twice now, and my first viewing wasn't that great, to be honest. A lot of people talked in the theater, it was so fucking annoying. My second viewing, however, turned out more positive. First, I have to mention that I've never really liked Miles Morales as a character. He is too similar to Peter Parker, except that he's African American and that he is a little bit younger. To prove my point, I will read up the description for this movie, but change Miles to Peter in some places. Peter Parker is a 15-year-old from Brooklyn, and a Spider-Man unlike any other we have seen before. He is a smart teenager who likes to hang out with his friends and do what children at that age do the most. But what his friends don't know is that Peter also learns to embrace a whole new and unexpected life as the all-new Spider-Man. With the help of some surprising new friends, Peter learns to find the hero within him. I think that Miles should define himself apart from Peter a little more to give himself room to grow. This was always his problem in the comics, and this movie kind of fixes that. One of the best iterations that does Miles justice is actually in the PS4 games, and just goes to show. So what about the actual plot? In order to clear up the confusion regarding this movie's canon, I will use the Spider-Verse characters' own universes as a starting ground. This means that Miles' universe, I will refer to that as Universe 1610, even though it actually isn't. It is 1610 in this movie's own pocket canon. Non-comic book readers will fucking hate me for this. Wilson Fisk, aka Kingpin, from 1610, have constructed a Hadron Collider in order to pull his deceased wife, Vanessa, and son from another dimension over to his so that he can be with them again. His first attempt fails and brings over a bunch of different Spider-Man over to his dimension. Now, the United Spider-Man must stand together to stop Kingpin before the Hadron Collider breaks the multiverse apart. I won't go any further to avoid spoilers. The character roster includes the Amazing Spider-Man from 16, Spider-Gwen from 6.5, Spider-Noir from 92.14, and Spider-Ham from 83.11, and finally Penny Parker from 14.5.12. The other Spider-Man from the multiverse don't really add anything to the movie except a few attempts at humor and punch a bad guy here and there. None of them really have much of an arc. They should have to cut down the roster and have it centered around Miles, Peter, and Miles' dad. The good stuff. Miles' relationship to his father is the definite highlight of the movie. So if the Kingpin has the ability to breach the dimensional barrier, maybe you can use the Hadron Collider to get us to a dimension where Daredevil doesn't get cancelled. Moving on. The art style blends well. Calm when it's calm, but ramps up in speed and intensity during action scenes, which are pretty cool by the way. It has ships of meta-humor and self-awareness at times when inserting some comic book elements in the movie. This is the first time I've actually seen it work on screen. They tried it in the Hulk movie from 2003 and it was just terrible. So, Into the Spider-Verse was a fun movie indeed, but maybe a little clunky introduction of the Spider-Verse character for the casual moviegoer. So, do I recommend it? Yes, for both hardcore comic book fans and just casual fans. It works for both, but just with a grain of salt, I would have to add. It doesn't do everything perfect, but the things that are good are really, really good. So you could actually consider this as sort of a comeback for Sony after its recent failures. So that's good. It's a step in the right direction, definitely. I'm not gonna argue against that. So thank you guys so much for watching. I hope you have a wonderful day, and if you enjoyed this review or if you want to discuss anything, leave a comment down below and I'll see you in the next video.